Setting the unfolding rule. So we're going to set the unfolding rule for a sheet metal component. So I'm in the sheet metal tab. I'm going to go up to the sheet metal defaults and I'm going to click on editing the sheet metal rule. And in the sheet metal rule I have the sheet metal unfold. When I click on this, I have two options. I'll go to the default K factor. So the default K factor, there are three different unfolding options. We'll start with linear. And so what the K factor is the amount of squishing or stretching of the bend. So when I bend an object, a sheet metal, say 90 degrees, how much squishing or bending happens in the bend area. So they are saying 0.440 is the default factor. That means at about 44% of the way through the material, that object is neither being squished nor bent. So on the back side of the 90 degrees, it's being stretched, and on the inside, it's being squished. So on the inside curve of the bend, it's being squished. On the back side, it's being stretched. So there's a line that runs through at 44% of the thickness of the material. That is neutral. So we can go with this linear method, or you can go with a bend table. With a bend table, you can add thicknesses in here. And what a lot of companies will do, since there's a lot of variation of how something gets bent based on your tooling and based on the material, the homogeneous of the material, things like that, factors like that, you could, as a company, then add in various thicknesses, bend them with your equipment, and find out exactly then how much things bend, and you can set up the values for those particular bends for each one of your thicknesses. You could also go to a custom equation, and in the custom equation you could set up then the various variables and make an equation that fits your needs. So these three methods are the typical three methods of how we would do something, how we bend things. And so, there's a lot of variance of how things get bent depending on what dies you use in your press brake, how you go about doing it, how slow, fast you go with the particular materials. All these change. So there are different ways of doing it. So a lot of the simplified ways is the linear. However, if your company does certain bends at certain thicknesses of materials, you can set those up and take measurements and get the best values for your particular equipment. Or you could just set up a custom equation and have it so that that works out the best for your company, better than, say, the linear. So we have three different ways of setting the unfold method in our sheet metal, and this is found in our style and standard editor. And so we get that, by the way, we'll get that in our sheet metal defaults.